All right, it's Tuesday evening. You know what that means? We're having a catch tonight with Laura Stone. Laura, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for having me.
So this is going to be, and I've already said this, this is going to be a different type of show tonight. Laura and I have known each other maybe a year or so. I
hmm
was brought into, Laura is an admin for a baseball group called NL East Baseball Uncensored and NL East Baseball Uncensored 2.0. If Facebook ever takes us down, we've got the backup already in hand. I think it was Greg Harp that brought me in about a year ago. Greg is a fellow Braves fan like Laura. So we're going to talk to Laura tonight about the group, baseball in general, why the Atlanta Braves are just running the world right now. World Series champions, Utopian Baseball Universe, two-time champions. So we're just going to have fun tonight. And we've got some new members that came in from NL East Uncensored, and I'm sure they're going to have some questions and comments for Laura tonight. But Laura, thanks for being here.
Okay, can you hear me now instead of having trouble connecting?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so I lost you guys for like that entire talk there.
That's right. I was just singing your praises as the admin of NL East Baseball Uncensored, and I wanted to kick off the show by asking you. And I know we've talked about this in the past. What was the, I guess, inspiration for starting a group like NL East Baseball Uncensored?
Well, I mean, I've been in so many Braves groups and I'll get kicked out of so many Braves groups. Just, I feel like in a lot of them, they only want you to say the sweet stuff. And, being fans like we are, it's a long season and there's not a lot of sweet stuff to say, and you just want to be really truthful about how your team's doing and each individual players, and kind of not catch hell for it like from other people, when you want to say it.
Sure.
And that's one thing, I'm real big about where we're at is like, you can say how you're feeling when it's going down, because we do the live game threads.
Yeah.
That was just real important to me. And
So it's just basically just being yourself and not having to just say like one example I can think of is obviously you're a Braves fan. If the Braves were to lose a big game, you just say what's on your mind. Like, hey, what the F?
yeah, we don't hold back on that. Like, well, you were in there like whenever we were going through the whole World Series thing. I just feel like that whole Dodgers, yeah, it got pretty heated on that one. But I knew when we beat the Dodgers, we kind of had it. So
Yeah. Do you remember what year? I mean, or approximately when you started this group, and when did you notice it starting kind of gaining some traction? Because you guys are at about what 5,500 members right now.
yeah, we're getting pretty close to the 6,000, which is great. If you can gain members in the off season, you're doing something right. And even it being in the off season, we get like maybe 20, 30 a week, which is really good, because if you go in any, fan group or whatever, they're dead this time of year. They're like non-existent. And I just really wanted a group whenever we done it to just like stand out. So I figured out a way, to make it where we're relevant even when baseball isn't. And it's just kind of like a place where you can go to just have fun and everything. But I guess we started, we're going on this will be our third season there, I want to say. And to start out with, it was just like me and John and Steph, and we just kind of added from there, just like our friends that we knew from other rivalry groups.
Yeah.
And so we started like really gaining members whenever the World Series hit. Because when Braves hit the World Series, yeah.
Because at one point now we're at about 1,200 members. I think when you joined the group, you might have been like member like 200. So
Yeah,
we've
it was
grown as
early.
well. But you guys have really blown up, and I think that's just going to be a testament to I think word of mouth, because when people join the group, and you can probably attest to this too, sometimes they don't know what they're getting into. But I
Yeah.
think the people that get it really have fun with it. So give us some examples of what makes your group a little bit different, because it's not really all about the baseball. You guys have fun with just trash talking and
Yes.
give us some examples of that. And then the comment, I don't, can you see these comments?
No, I can't see any of the
You can't see
comments.
any of the comments? Okay.
None.
If you're watching right now, we're going to get to all your questions, some of your comments.
There's a lot of questions already.
There's a lot of comments. There's a lot, and obviously, people watching this, you can read it. I'm not going to read everything, but I'm going to get to all the questions. And some of this, Laura, I don't think you want me to say live. I mean, we just talked about this like 2 minutes ago. Like, oh, this is completely uncensored. The first comment. Come on, come on. Me
It
or
doesn't
Laura?
show us your boobs.
Come on, this is a talk show.
That's as good as you're getting,
it's a
Harmon.
yeah, and I'm. Oh, you know it's him, right?
Oh, I know it is. I
Okay.
see, Joey. I memed him this morning with his own meme, so he's
Okay.
kind of PO'd, and I knew it was coming. Like I was like, he's gonna get me back tonight, or he thinks he is.
I see.
And that's a really good example right there of trash talk.
So there, yeah, I think that answered our question. Is that is probably a good example of how we're a little bit different in the uncensored group. It's not just about, hey, the Braves are better than the Mets, and your team stinks, and how long has it been since you won a World Series? We just get right at it. So
we literally go hard like all season long. Like there's no off time where we're at, and it's nonstop trash talk, and it's nonstop memes and having fun. And but I do tell people, they have to answer the questions when they join, and I kind of give an overview like, hey, it's going to be this way, and you can't be sensitive to these things because it's not going to be a good environment for you.
One of my favorite things, and I've seen you do it, and I know Steph does it a ton,
Mm-hmm.
is if some, like, one of your rules is don't block the admins, don't report any content. You guys
Mm-hmm.
know what you're getting into. There's always that one person that is like, oh, I can't believe they showed this or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
Steph, almost in real time, as if she just pauses job and parenthood, she's like, what did we say in the comments, in the rules?
She does.
You don't report.
You literally do not report in that group because they will drag you.
And so you guys will actually screenshot the comment.
We do.
And then say, all right, let's have this person have it. Now, when you do that, that person's not blocked or anything themselves, right? Because then they can't see everything.
No, we give them a full 20 minutes of like just freedom to go and just do it. And the reason that we usually end up removing them, and you know this all too well, like people get really, really defensive after this has happened, even though it's their own fault and they know it's going to happen, but they will take and they will go through there and they will report every single thing that they can. Then they'll try to report the group to Facebook. And there's so many times like my stuff's been reported, like I've been in Facebook jail, me and Steph, like so many times, but none of the guys get it. And it's because they don't get pissed at them. They just get mad at us,
How many, if you were to estimate, do you have burner accounts on Facebook? I know Stephanie has at least one.
Stephanie has several burners. I won't use them just because, like, if I go into Facebook jail, I will literally take a break because that's how I get a break.
Yeah.
Because there's no turning it off. It's like it's
Sure.
24/7, like just being there and being on at all times, and which I'm good about that. Like I do this every day. Like I wish we had baseball every day.
Well, one of the things, and this happened about a year ago, a female friend of mine who lives in Minnesota, she's not in the group, so she's not going to see this tonight. She got her hair cut, got it nice and short, looked great. And I complimented her on it. I said, hey, hair looks great. Keep killing it. She's like, yeah, some guys are being jerks about it. And I said, and I typed, yeah, guys are dicks. And 20 minutes later, I got a warning from Facebook for bullying.
Mm-hmm.
For bullying.
Yeah, bullying. And
you can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can dispute it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, bullying. I am a guy. I'm telling you that we can be dicks, and that's a dick comment. And so I was like freaking out because in my baseball group, I don't have another admin.
No, well, that's dangerous.
So here's what I did, and I don't, maybe I should reach out to someone at some point, but I created a second account for myself with a really bad mustache. It was like, it's a photo from like 1997 or something like that. And I made that account my second admin so that if I do get into a 30-day thing, because once my season starts, I'm 3 hours a night. I'm doing shows every day. I'm
Yeah.
posting probably 3-4 times a day. What am I going to do if I'm shut down for 30 days? So
You got a good point. I think this next time I go up, it's going to be like 7 days or something, which is kind of mild because Stephanie just keeps getting 30 days after 30 days, so we keep having to switch it. But no, my next one is 7. But I try to be so careful. Like, I don't know, can you get in Facebook jail from a video, like something you say?
I have no idea because I just got that one warning once, and it didn't even tell me like what would warrant
Okay,
an
now it's got
actual
me
ban.
questioning whether or not like I should be so candid. But my first one, I called my own husband a hoe. I was just like, Evan, you a hoe. And that's how I got in Facebook jail the first time. And he thought it was so funny because, like, I guess, the first time you get in there like 24 hours, but it said that I was bullying and harassing. And I, under the dispute thing, like, I was being cheeky. So I was like, he's my husband. I'll hit him if I want to. And then I got like 2 more days. And so don't argue with him. But I've had to dispute things, but most of the time it's just like stuff I've done 2 years back. And they didn't even have the same rules 2 years ago.
You mean they're
So I
going
kind of
back?
feel like
They're
I'm being
going back
screwed.
2 years and finding stuff?
2 years of finding stuff.
Oh my
And
God.
there's
Well, I'm
so
in
much
trouble
shit
then.
from like 2 years ago that we've said and done. It's just like, and they just keep nailing me and Steph for it. That's why I said I'm under the impression like we piss people off, which we do regularly, and they're just like going back and finding things, to report and to get us in trouble with Facebook.
You know what? Some days I think like the things I could have said or did in like 5th grade are going to be the end of me. Because I actually said, I think I actually said maybe a week ago or a couple weeks ago on the show, I said in 1st grade I stole a fruit roll up. Oh, you know what it was? I was on the radio in Philadelphia Thursday, and there's 3 hosts: Marianne, Sal, and Mark. And I was blown away by Marianne's introduction to me. She had everything, like the book I wrote, podcasts I've contributed to, things I've done, and I'm like, oh my God, if you know all that, you must know that I stole the fruit roll up in 1st grade.
Which she does now.
And I did, because I've often said like the last time I stole anything was 1st grade. The last time I cheated on anything was 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And if my friend Sean is watching, he's going to be a guest on the show at some point. Him and I cheated on the SRA reading test in 2nd grade. Do you guys have that in Georgia, the SRAs?
They're called ITBS tests. When I was in there, I don't know what the hell they're called now. Like, I know it's different because the kids have them, but
yeah,
I think they change it like every so often.
We came up with a system in 2nd grade where it was the honor system. So you read the thing and then you went to get the answers and see how you did. Well, I would grade my story 2, and then I'd get the answers for 3, give them to Sean. He'd do the thing. He'd go check it, see that he got 100, get the answers for 4, give them to me. Here's how we got caught. And Sean, I'm sorry that I'm outing us here tonight on having a catch, but how we got caught is our 2nd grade teacher was like, you guys are reading at like a 6th grade level and nobody else is reading beyond like 3rd. Like, what's going on here? And I think we both just came clean and like, yeah, we're just.
You caved really fast.
Yeah, we were not. We weren't cool like in Ocean's 11. We were just like, yeah, we're cheating.
Yeah, we did it.
So, well, I gotta ask you. There's a very real chance, and I just saw a headline today that the Players Association and the owner side, they met and they got nothing.
Yeah, they're not.
What's going to happen? I know this happened in 2020 when the pandemic started, but if we don't have baseball, because there's a very, very real chance we're not going to have a spring training,
Mm-hmm.
which would probably mean they delay the season a little bit because you have to
Season will be
condition.
delayed.
If the season's delayed, is that your prediction?
Yeah, I think it will be.
This is not good.
No, well, for other groups, it's kind of like a death sentence, but for us, it's just like everyday whatever. Like the whole year that in 2020 when they had the pandemic and everything, we were literally watching snail races and marbles races and we were betting on it. And I mean, well, you got to keep busy, but
Sure.
I mean, it's okay. You can sit around and you can say, "Oh, I miss baseball. I'm so damn bummed out." Or you can sit there and you can find ways, to just stay happy, and that's what we do. Like,
Yeah.
there's like not an unhappy daggum day in there because everybody is posting funny shit and they're like just arguing over the same stuff. But this is like different every day.
Now, just clarify this for me too. You do not have to be a fan of one of those 5 NL East teams to be in the group, right?
You do not.
Okay.
We have White Sox fans. We have Yankees fans. We have Brewers. We have, I think, pretty much about every team. I mean, just like 1 or 2 people. And I literally tell them, you know what? We welcome you, but if your team sucks, we're going to damn tell you. And we'll make the joke occasionally, me and Johnny, because we're like, everybody but Cardinals fans are welcome. Which there's some truth to that. I mean, we'd probably just have them in there just to drag, but we really don't like Cardinals.
I found a Marlins fan. I don't know if it was in your group or in Baseball Life. I think it was your group.
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately ate that up. I'm like, you got to get in the Utopian because I don't have a single Marlins fan. Every time we do Marlins content, well, here's how I measure that. I put a poll up last week, and we've had about 140 people vote on it. And there's still like 5 teams that haven't voted for, like, I don't think the Rays have a vote. I don't think the Padres have a vote. Marlins was one of those teams. And then I found this gentleman, and I apologize, can't think of his name right now. As soon as he said he was a Marlins fan.
I'm waiting for you to pronounce it.
His name?
Yeah.
I can't think of it. Do you know it?
I do.
Say his name.
So I'm not saying his name because like I'll pronounce it wrong. Like I do this to Robert all the time. Like I can't even pronounce my own damn moderator's last name. Like it's funny to them because I'm so damn Southern. It's just gonna ruin it. But I will say we have the most Marlins fans, other than a Marlins group.
Sure.
In any baseball group, period.
As you should, being 1/5 of the NL East, I would imagine of the 5 teams, they probably have the smallest fan base within the group.
They do.
If I were to, let me take a chance at ranking what I think. Obviously, Braves number 1. Is it Mets 2?
Mm-hmm.
Phillies?
Mm-hmm.
Nationals, Marlins.
Actually, I think we have less Nationals fans than we do. It would probably be pretty close. So, like, if there's Nationals and Marlins fans out there, like, I don't recruit as hard in their groups just because they're all assholes.
Yeah.
Well, the fans aren't assholes. It's just the groups are assholes.
The group. Now, all right. So I'm glad you said that because about a year ago, it was actually a year ago today, I came back to social media. I got back on Facebook and I tried to join at least one group for every team.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some group, and by the way, and that's how you and I met, is when I joined your group, the first thing I did was, hey, by the way, I have my own. Is it okay to promote it? And you and Steph were like, absolutely, yes, absolutely. There were some groups, and I don't know if I want to name those groups because I'm not.
You should.
Well, maybe I will.
I'm very upfront of when there's nasty to me.
Well, so there, some of the groups, not only were they saying no, you can't, but were like threatening me. We're like, hey, if you ever think you're going to promote something like that, I'm like, all I did was ask the question.
Was it a Phillies group?
No, I'm actually in the Phillies group. They're great. It was a Diamondbacks group.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
They were, and again, I'm not in it now, but I was in a Diamondbacks group where the admin was like, and don't send me any more, like, because I always send people a PDF of what the group is,
Mm-hmm.
so that they can read it and decide if they want to join. So it's not like
Yeah.
this blind, like, here, get in. I say, if you think this is, and it's the same thing every time. If you think this is a cool idea, I'd love to have you in. Promote your own group.
Mm-hmm.
I'm promoting people's groups and podcasts and books every day in the Utopian
Yeah.
Baseball Universe. And I told them, I do shows daily. If you want to be on the show, you can talk about your group. And the guy's like, this is Diamondbacks only business. And I'm like, okay, you're taking yourself way too seriously. I'll see myself out.
Yeah.
There's a couple
When you go to
others.
recruit, I was gonna say you should. This is what I do. Okay, like here I am giving out my secrets, but I would to you. So here's how I do it. You go and you do like the official groups on Facebook.
Yeah,
Like, let's take for instance Braves official fan group.
sure.
And what you do is you go down through there and like you find these really high traffic posts and you drop your group link and you'll say something relevant. But me, I'll trash talk people
Yeah.
and then drop the link. And then
So just
I'll do that
within
like
the
on live.
comments of a high traffic post.
Oh yeah, high traffic and then drop it. If you do like a regular post, they're gonna see it. They're gonna take it down. You're not gonna have
Because
any.
it creates so much attention because you're like, hey, this is me. But if it's in the comments,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost kind of like being sneaky, like, hey, I got something to say
And the way
here.
I do it, it's
Yeah.
almost unfair because like I will literally drop let's say I put it in a Phillies group,
Mm-hmm.
I'll literally change our cover photo to Phillies.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, it's so damn smooth too. But like the reason I asked if it was a Phillies group is because they will literally just they will bitch. I know why the hell you're even in here. You're not a Phillies fan. I'm like, you don't know that.
Might have some Phillies blood in me. You don't
You
know
do
what's going
Phillies
on.
things. You don't know this.
Well, what I've been doing, and since the last time you and I talked, is
Mm-hmm.
I'll kind of do something similar. I'm right now. I'm doing it's called the Mount Rushmore. Where I'm posting just like one team theme post a day. I don't even mention my group. I just say, hey, give me your 4 all-time Minnesota Twins, and then everyone that comments or likes it, and I don't do it immediately because then it looks like I'm a bot. I wait a day or two. I compliment them. I'm like, oh yeah, Rod Carew, Harmon Killebrew. But what I've been doing lately, and I think people have really liked this, is I'll ask people, who's your favorite player of all time? And when they get back to me, I've got 4,000 custom baseball cards that I've made since May of 2020. So if someone says, I love Ty Cobb, within seconds, they have 3 Ty Cobb baseball cards. And nobody's going to be like, oh, don't send me that shit. Like, they're like, oh,
Hell no.
that's awesome. And then I say, yeah, it's, and then I tell them a little bit about the group or whatever. And that's been working, I think, really well is get people.
That's real time consuming though. Like,
It's not, though, because I have iCloud.
mm-hmm.
So, like, if you were right now, don't ask me to do it now because I'm doing the show on the phone. But if you were to say, Joey, I love Freddie Freeman, it's not like I'm making these cards on the fly. They're already files in the cloud that's linked to my phone. So all I have to do is type in Freddie. It's going to come up with 3 files. And then I just go boom, 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 and you have them. So you actually, you can ask me for any baseball player that's been relevant in the last 150 years. All I have to do is type in a part of their name, and every anything I've created in the last 2 years is going to show up. I don't have to attach. I don't have to craft an email. I just hit send, 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 and you have them. And that I think that's been working pretty well.
Well, I didn't necessarily mean making the cards. I meant just like the whole having that kind of interaction. Like whenever I drop it, like I will usually drop them on controversial posts anyway. So it's like I know for a fact that it's only going to take, I don't know, 2 seconds before somebody's bitching. I'm sorry, I'm tired of this group. That's why the official groups work so good for recruiting.
Because they're already upset with the group they're
They're already
in.
pissed. So it makes my
Oh,
job
see,
just
that's
like so much easier.
genius.
But then also it's like when we first started, I'll just drop in the inbox, but then like it started becoming a thing for me because like with guys, so I'm more careful about that now. Like, and plus I when I do recruit, it's like during the season, during ball games, that's like your prime time thing because they're already on these groups and they're like talking and while the game's going, and that's like your best time because then you hit those spots with all the comments on them, and then you just start dropping links, and I'm talking shit as I'm dropping links, and
Right. So yeah, I got to do all this because I mean that's all I'm doing. Like at night when I'm watching the Mets or listening to a game or whatever, is I'm in like three different. Like I'm on Twitter, I'm on Facebook,
mm-hmm.
I'm within MLB. Like if you watch a game on MLB and you're watching a Braves Mets game, there's a interactive piece within that app where you can actually see everyone who's watching that game with you commenting.
Mm-hmm.
I need to start taking advantage of that. I'm like, yeah, like, if the Braves lose a
Yeah,
game, like, oh man, this sucks. But you know what? They're two-time champions in the UBU. What is the UBU? I don't know. Let's check it out. Let's take a look.
yeah,
And
I'm dropping all mine down like MLB and Fox and Valley Sports, and just kind of. I did try to keep it relevant to like our whole NL East thing, but no, we're not limited to that. Like people can come and they can have fun. I mean, we have some Yankees fans are like some of our best posters, and it's so wild to me because they'll just be sitting here and they're talking shit to these Mets fans, just like right along with us Braves fans. And
it,
for the longest time, also we had more Mets fans than we did anybody. But it's like I said, whenever the Braves went to the World Series, and I ain't saying we added like a whole hell of a lot of bandwagon fans. It's not that. I think what we got are like real knowledgeable fans, and they're, because I had to weed them out there for a little bit. But I can usually tell if somebody's just being bullshit or if they actually know what they're talking about. But
sure.
it was just there was so much more traffic. So here I am. I'm working the game thread as these games are going down, and I'm just dropping our link all down these pages, and I'm just
Right.
the whole time the game's going on.
I got to do that then. So look out, world. You're going to start seeing more links from the Utopian Baseball universe. Uh,
Spam it, Joey. Just
Spam it.
spam the
Just get
hell
it
out of it.
out there.
All down through there.
You know what I thought about doing actually? There's a business. I may have mentioned this to you recently. There's a business. I can almost see it out my window. They only make T-shirts and business cards, and I'm thinking of just spending, a small amount of money on just business cards and just dropping them everywhere, like the laundromat, grocery stores. Go to a Brewer game this year and just hit every windshield and just see, what I can do with that.
I could see maybe like if you're at a baseball game or something and you just happen to have a few cards with you. But I mean, doing this is like our group is living proof that you can just be not spending nothing and just
Sure.
doing it. But if you do it like that, I guarantee you will have growth. Like there's no way that you won't have it. I mean, even if you piss off like 5 of them, 10 of them will join if you're you engaging them and.
Well, and I'm not afraid of no. Like, look, people have been telling me no my whole life. You can't do this. What? You're going to write a book? You can't write a book. You can't own your own business. You can't do that. So I don't care about the no's. Even
Mm-mm.
I sent a message today to someone because he had responded to something I posted within a group, and I said, "Hey, I think you might enjoy this group." And he's like, "Looks cool. I just don't have the time. I don't have the time. Like I'm in a bunch of groups. Good luck with it, though. Yeah, I'm not going to get upset for that. Like I'll take 100 no's if it's going to get me 3 or 4 yeses,
Yeah.
and then those 3 or 4 people bring in some great people as well. So it's fine with me.
Shit, when I made mine, they literally told me, "Oh, she's just the girl. It's not like she's gonna make like something big anyway." Because when I left, like the former group we were in, I was pissed, and that's how it came about. Because like it just made me want to succeed and grow it like that much bigger, just because I was pissed off, and that's what I did. I mean, John will tell you this, like him and Steph, like because when we left, I said, you know what? I'll be bigger than all of them combined.
What was
We
the
are.
if you care to share, what was the name of the group that pissed you off?
I won't say their group because like we're on
Okay.
good terms now, but I will say the people that had done it was two of them, and they know.
Okay.
Which is I feel like you get the ultimate revenge of being successful in whatever it is you do.
Sure.
And I've always been like the kind of person that like I will say I'm not half-assed in anything I do. If it's a baseball group, okay, I'm going hard. If it's work, if it's my family life, I'm giving it all I got, or I'm not doing it.
Yeah. We're going to get to a couple of these comments here. Now, this is just very kind. Laura is the best leader of a baseball group ever. Do you know who may have said this? It's our favorite guest on the show, Facebook user. So if you're watching the show, if you want us to use your name, there's a link right above us. It's right above Laura's head, probably, right there. Click on that, and then we can use your name during the show.
Yeah, I don't know who said that, but I can probably see it tomorrow.
Yeah, well, and we can even check it out tonight. Michael says you have a potty mouth.
He should know. It
He
takes
should
one to
know.
know one.
Laura has an absurd crush on Jacob deGrom. Is this true?
I think John said that, you little shit.
John
But I will
Keeney.
say this: he is amazing, but I wish he had never cut his hair. Like I really like the Jacob with the long hair,
Yeah,
but no, he's amazing. And if he was in a Braves uniform, he would be even better.
sure.
If he
Question
stays
here.
healthy, yeah.
Where that syrup man at?
Okay, I know that's Brandon. He wants me to bring up the syrup guy, and I know you know what I'm talking about, Joey.
Yeah. So someone is asking what name of the group are we discussing? Right. All right. So tonight we're talking about NL East Baseball Uncensored, and Laura Stone is one of the creators and admins for this group. It's fantastic. You do not have to be a member. You don't have to be a fan of one of those 5 teams, as Laura mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They have fans from every team, even the Marlins, who have a couple fans here. All right, so we'll get some more comments here in a second, but I want to ask you, Laura, has baseball always been a big part of your life? Like, is family into it? I'm sure you have obviously friends that are big into it too, but when did this all start, this love affair with baseball?
Mine's more like an obsession, but actually, my family, my immediate family, like my dad, my mom, and my brothers and sisters, they're all wrestling fans. Like,
Oh, we can talk wrestling all
oh,
night.
I talk wrestling, especially the old shit, like all night long. But
Oh,
because
damn
I
it.
know it,
All
I
right,
know
well,
it that well. But
all
my
right, we're gonna go a couple 6 hours tonight. Then we're gonna talk wrestling, probably 2 a.m.
my obsession with baseball though, it started like super young. Like growing up, like I won't give my age, but back then we didn't have internet, we didn't have computers, there was none of that shit. Like if you knew baseball stats, you knew it because it was experience. And like I can remember just being like a little bitty kid just saying all these stats and shit. I would just watch Braves baseball with my nanny and granddaddy. Like they lived on a farm, and I would go spend complete summers with them. And every break that we ever got off from school, I'd just be there and learning the game. And my nanny, she had a book, and she would literally just like write down every game and who pitched and the score. And I have her books and her handwriting, and it's priceless to me. And learning that knowledge, just and out of all their grandkids, and they had so many and great grandkids, like I'm the one that it stuck with, like just that love. And so I get it from my nanny and granddaddy, which are my mother's parents.
I forget how old she was when I taught her. I think my daughter was maybe 6 years old. I taught her how to score a game. And one day we were watching a game and she was scoring it. It was a Brewers game, and my mom showed up to visit her grandma. And mom comes into the apartment, and the first thing she says after not having seen her for like 4 days is, "Grandma, quick, watch! Jonathan Lucroy struck out in the third inning, looking." Like she like looked at her book to tell this little bit of a story and to kind of show grandma like how much she'd learned.
That's amazing.
She did, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 innings that night, and then she's like, "Daddy, why do baseball games sometimes take forever?" And it was probably one of those like later season games.
A pitching duel or late night.
Pitch, yeah, I mean, I remember one time, like the next day, I said, "The Brewers lost in 17 innings," and she was just like, "Whoa, that must have taken forever." And I'm like, "Yeah, but Daddy watched the whole thing."
Yeah, I love those games though. Like, I'll complain or whatever because, like, if I have to, work or do stuff the next day, but like, I don't know. I could literally spend my life just watching baseball and never be like 1 minute tired of it.
There is a free app called Pluto. Have you heard of it?
Called what?
Pluto. Pluto. I found it because I was looking for something, and I downloaded Pluto. They have a 24/7 MLB channel, and it's just all old games. So, the way the app works is whatever they're showing is what you can watch now, but they also have an a la carte menu where you can search by year. And I think they have about 200 old games going back to like 1970 through 2020. And it's in their entirety. So it's not like highlights, it's full games. And I probably watch 2 or 3 a week. Cubs games, Braves games, Mets games, All-Star games. It's amazing. So if anyone's watching this, you got to check this out because, like Laura, I don't think the season is going to start on time. I think if it does, we might see a little bit of a delay, but you got to check out Pluto.
I'll tell you, I love baseball so much. Like during the pandemic, I would get up at 4 a.m. to watch Korean baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I watched Korean baseball the entire time that we could not have baseball in the U.S.
Yep.
Like, I was sitting there rooting for the Doosan Bears. Just,
yeah,
I had to watch it. And it's like, I didn't care if I'm getting up like these insane hours and just watching these games.
I remember in I'm guessing on this. 99, I think it was. 98, 99. The Mets opened their season in Japan. And they had the games live at like 4 a.m. And you goddamn right I got up to watch those games. Benny Agbayani, I think, ended one with a grand slam or hit a grand slam late in the game. 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. And after they won, I didn't want to go to work.
No.
I didn't go to work. So if we worked together in 99, I wasn't sick that day. I was just at a baseball hangover. I actually stayed home from school as a senior I think a junior or senior in high school because Bobby Bonilla was going to announce his team the next day. And this is before the internet, so I didn't have a cell phone or anything where I could check it. I stayed home at school. I called. I said, "Yeah, this is Joey. I got a sore throat or something." And I stayed home and I watched Bobby Bonilla signed with the Mets, and I was like, "Yes, we're gonna win 7 championships in the next 20 years." And spoiler alert, that did not happen.
No, it didn't.
They won.
You're still paying him.
Zero. We're still paying him.
You're still paying him for that contract.
Oh my God! It's one of the most ridiculous contracts, but it
is.
That type of contract is more common than people think. I think because Bonilla was one of the first. It's basically an annuity where they said, "We don't have the money to pay you today, so let's give you 10 times the money you're asking for over the next 30 years."
Do you remember when the Nationals tried to get Bryce Harper to re-sign with him, and they were trying to get him to do that, and he's like, "Fuck y'all, I'm going to Philly because we're paying up front."
Yes. Because
Really, that's what happened too.
well, and in that case, I think Harper got what 360 million or something like that.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. Like, as much shit as I give like the Phillies fans about it, because we're like, pay all that money and you still fucking suck. You know, he's a pain in my ass, but he's like a really really good player.
And I like Harper. Actually, there's a member of this group that we actually had a conversation the year Harper was drafted. He was drafted as a catcher when he was like 16 or 17, and
Yeah, it's insane.
we talked about him, and I was like, he's
Hmm.
going to be really good, and he's like, he's going to be overrated. And when I had Jason on the show this summer, I said, which one of us was closer? Okay, maybe he's not the greatest of all time, but you said he was going to be a bust, and I think I won that. And I
Oh,
do think it's funny that they won a. Oh, nice. Did you make
this
that?
here is what I've been working on this week.
Very nice.
I just happened to say Bryce Harper, but
Do you have more pieces you want to show us tonight? That looks amazing, by the
oh,
way.
that's just what I'm working on now. Like, I'm working on this Philly set. I like the vintage, the powdered
Yeah.
goose.
Yes.
These are being shipped out by the weekend. I've got like 5 more in the series and everything, but just when you said Harper, I was like, yeah, I kind of know a thing about him, but
Is he one? Like, give us your top four favorite players right now in Major League Baseball.
no, that are currently playing.
Sure.
Currently playing, I'm gonna say like Austin Riley is one of them, and I'm not
Yeah.
just saying that because I'm a Braves fan. It's just like when he first started, you kind of knew that there was something special about him, and he struggled, like hitting sliders for a little bit, but then it's like I just kept saying, no, this kid's got something. He's gonna be something. Like, just wait. But then this year, he just like proved them all wrong, and he just when they kick ass like that, and you just knew it's special.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Austin Riley, and um, I do like Jacob DeGrom. I have a huge thing for pitchers. Like, I love pitchers,
Yeah.
and I will say, well, he's on the injured list right now, but I'll say Mike Soroka. I hope he comes back like really strong, and
Yeah.
which I seen his rehab stuff today, and he looks so good. He does. Like, I'm just hoping. I'll say Ronald Acuna
Sure.
because he's the most exciting. Like, he's insanely exciting. One of the best players out there. Ohtani, because
Yeah.
I mean, the dude is outrageous. Like, he's an awesome pitcher and an awesome hitter. Like, you don't see that. Like, he's amazing.
Yeah.
And what is that, 4?
Give us as many as you want. There's no limit.
Oh shit! I'll just be naming off everybody, and then I'll be like telling you why. But
Hey, like I said, we're gonna now that I know you like wrestling, we might go 6, 7, 10, 12 hours tonight. I was supposed to go into work at midnight. That might not happen. I'm gonna do a. This is kind of like a unplanned segue here. Wrestling. You
yeah,
said you like watching the old shit.
I do. I love the old shit because it's
You,
like I won't watch the new shit. Like, I just don't.
so
My
do you have
daddy still does, and my brother and my sister and everybody does, and it's like,
you have Peacock?
I have everything because I have IPTV on my Fire Stick.
Okay, that
So
sounds
like
fun.
we get everything. We get like the wrestling channel and
The
whatever.
the wrestling channel. I want. All right. Well, I got to find out more of this technology. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite WrestleMania of all time?
I don't know. The events run together. I can give you matches
Give us
that were
matches or
my
give us
favorite.
like your favorite wrestlers.
Oh, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat
Fantastic.
and the old Sting. Whenever he had the white hair,
Sure.
so
Like the surfer character.
yeah, Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, I love it.
Marty Jannetty. The Four Horsemen. Back when Ric Flair didn't hate my dogs, wasn't pissed at
Yeah.
Kirby Smart back then. Uh, let's see here. My favorite wrestler, like of all time, though, is Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Like the moment he retired, I was done.
Did you tear up? I remember that show.
Oh, I cried. Yes.
When he beat Ric Flair, I cried in front of my nephew. He's like,
Yeah.
why is Uncle Joe crying? Isn't this just fake? And I'm like, not tonight, it's not.
No, we would go watch it live, like with my daddy and my brother, my mom and sister, and it's just like you don't say wrestling's fake in the Bennett family. Like growing up, you get your ass kicked. But no, when he retired, I was like, my heart ain't in it no more. I just can't.
Did you have a moment? Because it sounds like some of your favorites were some of my favorites growing up. Because I love the Horseman, I loved Savage and Mr. Perfect and Piper.
Yeah.
Did you have a moment as a kid? Because I've two that I could tell you about where it made you cry.
Yes.
Tell us.
I want to say whenever the match where Ricky and Ric Flair are wrestling, and like I just remember being young and just remember his wife and kid was there, like Ricky's, and Rick was just like laying it on thick. He's like being this heel, and I'm just like, oh, he's down, because I loved Ricky Steamboat, and just I remember squalling about that, and and I loved the Hitman. Like I think I want to say like I've probably cried like a million of his matches, and when he retired, oh, it just tore me up.
When I started watching wrestling when I was 10. 10 years old. And I wasn't a fan. I was at a sleepover and they wanted to watch wrestling. And I'm like, what is this? I thought we were going to do something else. And I got hooked on a match. It was Hulk Hogan and the Junkyard Dog versus the Funk Brothers.
Oh, Terry. Yeah.
Terry and I forget, Haas, maybe. And I was just like hooked. I was like, all right, this is great. And then I had to rent all the older stuff.
Yeah.
So my mom actually worked at a grocery store that had a pretty extensive like tape library, like cassettes. So we rented WrestleMania, WrestleMania 2, the Wrestling Classic, all the Starcades. So my understanding, like as a kid, Roddy Piper was like the bad guy. And the best bad guy. Like him and Flair were like the two.
Half and half. They swap it back and forth.
Yeah, but I mean, up until that point, when I started watching, he was only a bad guy. And then he left to do a movie and he came back. And then they didn't really turn him good. They just had him in a program with another bad guy. So it's like, okay, you got these two bad guys. How are they going to do this? And when the other bad guy I'm speaking of was adorable Adrian Adonis. When adorable Adrian Adonis and not Randy Orton, Bob
not
Orton,
Randy Orton yet.
His father, Bob Orton, Don Morocco.
Yeah, Bob Orton.
When they all attacked Roddy Piper on the flower shop and broke his leg, I cried. I was like, but he's trying to be a good guy. Like, I don't understand. Like, I just, and that storytelling, because then he retired. And at WrestleMania 3, I still can't, there's two things. If I watch Game 6 of the 86 series or Roddy Piper's last match, I cry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
I know it's, a show. But
it's not, though. Like, when you get into that and and you're just like a fan, it's not just a show. Like, the storylines used to be so good back then. And it's like, when they would wrestle, like, they put it all out there. I mean, and now it's just gymnastics almost.
It is.
But I will say, like, I really love Roman Reigns.
My mom has a big crush on Roman Reigns.
Oh, he's gorgeous. He is. He's gorgeous. Like, if I was going to start back watching it or whatever, I would literally watch it for him. But the thing is, like, most people don't know about Roman is that he's battled with leukemia his whole life.
Yeah.
And so he has to work twice as hard. And he goes through these treatments, and he's amazing. Like, if anybody ever has time to watch his story and just get to know him, they absolutely will fall in love, like, with his ethic. And his drive. He's just an amazing guy.
Well, and I'm kind of like you. I don't really watch the current stuff, but I do watch WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, and they just had the Royal Rumble a couple days ago. What they've created for Roman Reigns right now, they've built him up as one of the top heels
Mm-hmm.
in the last 30 years. Like the character that he's playing right now is just amazing. And to think like when he came up within the Shield
Yeah.
10 years ago, he was like the quiet, just kind of big guy
Just
in the
kind of a
back.
background.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that group was
But I
all
noticed
about
it because he had gorgeous hair. Like, I love people's hair.
you
I'm weird
love
about these
people's
things.
hair.
Which is probably why, like, one of the reasons I love Shawn Michaels so much.
Shawn Michaels, Jacob DeGrom,
The
Roman
hair.
Reigns, yes.
The hair.
So you showed us a little bit of your art earlier, which I love. And today is it's Mental Health Awareness Day within the Utopian Baseball universe. And I know that the time you spend on your art has to have a positive impact on your own mental health because
Yeah.
just spending time on doing something you love has to be a part of everyone's day. Tell me how important that piece of your life is in maintaining a good mental health regimen for yourself.
Honestly, like, unless I'm in like a good state of mind, like just in a good place, I can't really paint. It's kind of weird. I just have to be just clear and just in a good headspace, and I'll just crank music that I like, and just like I'm sitting there and I'm painting and just giving it my all. Um, like, one thing most people don't even know is I've never had a professional lesson ever. Like, nobody ever taught me how to paint. It's just like one
Yeah.
of those God given things that you just sit down and you can do. I just feel like, which in all things, I give that the glory and the credit to God, but like especially with that, like it's not something I don't think that I could do if He hadn't given it to me. But I don't know. I just have like the roughest days sometimes. I'll just sit down and just like the minute I start painting, just I'm lost in it, and I don't. I think in a lot of ways it just saves me when there's no baseball.
Yeah.
Because for me, baseball is just crazy therapy. But just like the whole time I'm sitting there painting, it's just that's my therapy.
Yeah.
Which, I think a lot of us have to do this was just finding ways to, you know, not let life get you down and just having all that stress on you and pressure. Like, I've been doing senior yoga. Don't laugh.
No, I'm
I do
not.
the old
It's the
people
way I
yoga.
like you put the emphasis on senior. Like, hear me
Yeah,
out.
I know. I do senior yoga because like my body, I have like an old person's body. Like, I look young, but like I was born with lipedema, which I was just diagnosed like this last year, and it's like a birth defect. And like this whole time, like I was just thinking I was heavy and set and overweight. Like, it wasn't that. It was the birth defect. But I've been on keto for like a year and a half, and I've lost over 150 pounds just in that amount. Well, I won't say just in that amount of time because it was
Sure.
like crazy hard to do. But between the keto and the seniors yoga, it I don't know, just like learning. I think the breathing techniques was the most beneficial thing for me,
Yeah.
which I would highly recommend. Like, and I don't think like anybody should just go, oh, well, I don't need senior yoga to begin. Like, to me, like the beginning yoga was like kind of more strenuous. So, but I stuck with the seniors because, like, to me, it was more therapeutic, and I wasn't gonna dislocate a shoulder randomly or something like that. Which is, my joints like are real easy to do that. But
Sure. What kind of music do you like to listen to unwind?
oh, it's like everything. It just depends on what mood I'm in. Like, I can be pissed off and come in, and there's gangster rap down on there, or there's like metal, there's rock, there's like 80s hair bands, um, emo. It just depends on the day, but like I guess like my favorite is like ACDC.
Oh, nice. There's
That's my
this
favorite band.
I can't do it live here because I think the fire alarm might go off, but every Wednesday we get a truck at my store and we unload it, and it takes a couple hours. And when we do 80s, we shuffle, and it's like 3 hours of the music, so there's a good chance you're going to hear pretty much everything in the playlist. And you remember that song? Uh, this is probably mid 80s. It was called "True" by Spandau Ballet. It's a slower song. I'm not going to sing it. Like I said, if I sing it now, bad things are going to happen. But
If I say no, are you going to like sing a portion of it?
well, here's what I'm thinking about doing actually, because I am teasing this, is that when I walk to work tomorrow I have a 7-minute walk. I'll sing it on the way there, and I'll entertain the entire town. So everyone in the group will see it. Everyone will see it. But what I do, if that song comes on while we're unloading the truck, and if Heather's watching this, she hears and sees this every week. There's a line. There's a line in that song where it really builds this crescendo where he goes, "I bought a ticket to the world," and then there's this like boom, "but now I've come back again," and then there's this boom, 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 and then there's a, "Why do I find it hard to write the next line?" And then the next line I belt for the entire store. I'm actually like in the back facing the store, and I go, "And I want the truth to be sad," and I hold the note for about 15 seconds. My face is like red, and people are like clapping and like, "Whoa, what the hell's going on here?" And then like I'm just like energized for the rest of the week, because I really hold that note as long as my lungs let me do it. And it's the most exhilarating feeling in the world when I hit that note. So at some point I'll share it, and you guys can see what it's like to work at Dollar Tree.
If I worked at Dollar Tree, I'd never have a paycheck.
Oh my God,
I love it because it's like they have like the greatest craft stuff, but no, I get that whole singing thing, like, and it's always been therapy, which I have to sing at church on Sunday. Like it's my turn for the solos this week.
nice. Well, let's get some video of that.
Hey, I will put it up. I actually share my church thing every Sunday, and it's live.
You put that up right here later in the day or whenever you can. We'd love to hear you sing a little bit. I got to get to some more. This is, by the way, I don't have another way of measuring this other than the comments. This is the most engaging episode we've had of having a catch. So I'm going to get to some of these right now. So someone has a question actually for me. Is my dude wearing a Molitor or a Yount Brewer jersey? This is actually Gorman Thomas. I don't know if you can see on the back. Can you guys see the number 20?
Yeah.
Gorman Thomas. This is and my phone is tilted. This is a knockoff. So again, if I'm going to get kicked off Facebook, it's because I'm admitting I buy knockoff jerseys every now and then.
And you stole a fruit roll-up.
Stole a fruit roll-up. I gave it back, though. Michelle Dohan, I gave it back because she was crying, and I had a crush on her, and I was like, I didn't know it was hers. And I threw it back, and the teacher just kind of winked at me like, "You're doing the right thing here." And I was in a Catholic school, so, he's watching.
Ooh, did they hit you with a ruler?
No, but no, thankfully. No, I mean, I think that, it was, but I do have a funny story about that exact same classroom. When I was in second grade, or this was actually first grade, I got to school first one day. And this is a baseball tie-in, so it makes sense. The teacher, her name was Mrs. Kuhn, Kuhn. She said, this is what I heard her say: "Do you want to watch the Brewers?" And I said, "Yeah." So she left the room and came back with a bucket of water and a sponge. And I'm like, "Where's the TV?" She said, "What TV?" She goes, "I asked you if you want to wash the boards." I'm like, "Oh, I thought you said watch the Brewers." Like, I don't want to watch the boards. I want to watch the Brewers. I ended up watching the boards, but
Well, yeah, she'll get the yardstick on you.
I know. What else do we got here? Let's see. It's fun to see some of the Mets fans get riled up. Yeah, Mets fans, like I am one of them, but we get pretty riled up in that group. Oh, I've been asked to ask about Ace Orenstein.
Oh, what do they want to know?
They just said, "What's up with Ace?"
Okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all, Ace loves trolling. Like he's Ace to y'all, but he's Abraham to me, and I've known him for years. Like
Okay.
he's actually a normal person. Like he's just like a great guy. Like
I love how you said it.
you'll
He's
never see that.
actually
He loves to troll you guys. It's so fun.
And is he a what team is he a fan of?
He's a Mets fan.
He is a Mets fan.
Yeah.
All right,
He
we
says
gotta
that
get.
like he'll troll like 800 times a day. Just want to let y'all know I'm a fucking Mets fan.
I gotta get Ace into the group then. All right, well that's great. Here's another lover of the group. Again, the group is NL East Baseball Uncensored. This is Laura Stone. Fantastic group. So much fun. You guys are all going to join it tonight if you're not a member. Speaking of Mets fans, where is that tracksuit wearing Nissan Rogue driving Ace at? So, all right. So, people
He
love
has to
Ace.
work third, guys.
Okay. Well, we're going to get Ace. I'm going to actually reach out to him tonight and say, hey, let me give you a reason to join this group. You were kind of a big hit at about minute 58 tonight. Man, so many comments. This is unreal. Laura, will you tell? Laura will tell you a couple of three things. I don't know what that means, but can you
a couple of three
a
things?
couple of three things? Well, okay.
I don't
Let's
know.
see. I remember buying local newspapers just to get the box scores for baseball games, Braves games in particular. That was before having internet. I'd throw away the rest of the paper. In 1990 I started my own rotisserie league baseball. And every morning I'd have to go into the paper and score it by hand. It would take like an hour, and we only had 4 teams. But 25 players on a team. Now you're doing 100 box scores. It was crazy. What else do we got here? All right, so people have seen that Agbayani game that I was talking about. We got some wrestling comments here. Tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my, the best ever. Someone says wrestling is fake. He still loves it. He or she. Cowboy Bob. Oh man, this is like. And then someone here says, eyes love from Laura. This must be an inside joke. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, we're gonna find out. Obviously, we're gonna find out who's sharing all this today. But this has been so much fun. Now that I know that Laura loves wrestling, Laura, we're gonna have you back, and at some point we're just gonna talk wrestling that night. We're actually doing. Let me ask you this, and don't mean to put you on the spot, but I know we're going to have you on at the end of the month for our South Division preview show when we talk about all the teams in the South Division.
Mm-hmm.
Next, in about a year or so, we're going to stream live the clinching game of the World Series from 2021, Braves Astros, and I want to get just Braves fans to react to that because it had been 26 years.
Y'all just want to see me cry, huh?
I want to see you cry. Well, I mean, this Saturday we're doing a Braves loss, so I figure I owe you because we're doing that Braves Twins game from '91 this Saturday.
No. When he pushed his ass off that base, Joey.
Kent Herbeck. And we're going to talk about that too. But again, next November or whatever, once our season ends, we're going to do 3 or 4 games a year. And I've already queued it up. We're going to do a Braves win at some point as well. All right. So I have a couple of just fun questions for you to end the show tonight.
Okay.
I am a huge fan of Ozark. Huge. I think it might be my favorite show of all time. Are you a fan of Ozark?
I don't watch, but they tell me all the time that I sound like Ruth from Ozarks.
And that's why I'm asking. Could you say, "What the fuck, Marty"?
What the fuck, Marty?
I did that at work today for a couple people, and one person understood the reference, and one was like, "Why are you swearing in a store where we're selling like Jell-O?"
They've actually memed me on that. Like, I think it was on the quote, I don't know shit about fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
favorite Ruth Langmore quote, it's not even dirty. She was being interrogated by someone in her family, and she's like, I need to fold shit.
That's literally just how we talk.
I love it.
Or Jason the other day called me Tater, and I actually made him a video of like Tater telling him to get fucked, and I just haven't posted it in the group yet. So that's coming this week.
What are some of your favorite, like, I'm watching it now for like the third time. What are some of your favorite shows that maybe I need to check out?
I mainly just watch baseball. I
Yeah.
mean, I have watched Yellowstone. I think it's actually a pretty good one, but I love anything Kevin Costner, and with good reason. So it's pretty good. And I watched a little bit of Cobra Kai. I just don't really have like a lot of time. Like if I'm doing something TV, it's like while I'm working out. Cause like I'll do 4 miles on the elliptical every morning, and like I'm sitting there watching my 600-pound life and 1,000-pound sisters, just cause like I'm just like really digging in deep trying to get these pounds off. It like motivates the fuck out of me not to end up like Tammy, cause she won't get off her ass on the couch and do her exercises, and I'm just like, put your feet on the damn pedals, woman. Just give it a go.
Later tonight, if you can, I would love for you to share some more of your art pieces.
Okay.
Or if you want to do, I know you had mentioned earlier in the show you've lost a ton of weight. If you want to do some before and afters or something like that, get the
Sure.
group motivated to do something as inspiring, because I think that's great what you're doing. And we've got like 3 hours left. Today was the first ever Mental Health Awareness Day in the Utopian Baseball universe. And I've had just an amazing time talking with Laura Stone tonight. Real quick, again, tell us, again, the name of the group is NL East Baseball Uncensored. What kind of things do you have in store once we get baseball back up and running? I think it's the best. I think it's the most fun baseball group I belong to.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that, because that's literally what we're going for. Just when baseball starts back, it's just going to be like nonstop trash talk again. Like, you just think like we're all just like the best of friends during which we are, but it's like crazy rivalry and trash talk like when it starts back, and then we do game threads and stuff and just talk all that shit because like the Mets fans know their season's gonna fold.
I
The
look
Mets gonna
forward.
mess.
The New York Mets. I remember when the Mets were in first place for like 4 straight months. I was like,
Oh, you were.
you better
Just
not touch
give it a
that cover
go.
photo.
I saved all those screenshots where they shit talked me, and I said, I'm gonna save these, and y'all are gonna be so freaking sad when I share them back at you. Like, we had so many just rogue Mets fans all of a sudden just go into hiding.
Yeah, I mean, look,
The real ones stay, like you guys. You stay, and Johnny stays, and
yeah, we're
Ace and Drew.
long gone are the days where I make predictions anymore. But I feel good about the season. I know the Mets are one of the 4 teams they're talking about as being a favorite this year. So,
Yeah, y'all
I mean,
got a lot to look forward to. But I think this is the Braves' window. I'd really like to see them go back to back. But if you had just told me, which I say this every year, I'll go, it's our year. So, like, when it finally was our year, my husband's like, you're psychic. And I was like, fuck yeah. But our, at the beginning of the season was just so damn hard to watch, which I don't miss a game. No.
yeah.
I still watched it, but it was just like, so I think a lot of it was our momentum and everything. Because after we had that All-Star game taken away from us, it just kind of like the wind went out of our sails, and like everybody was pissed.
Yeah.
And I just looked at Evan, and I remember going, they're gonna make them eat them words. I say, because it's gonna be funny as fuck whenever they go in there and they win the World Series. And he's like, bullshit. I was like, I bet you. Oh yeah, I won.
Well, I'm going to say right now, and I'll say if. I'm not going to say when, because I've been saying when now for 35 years. If the Mets win a World Series, I'm going to take over that group for like 2 days. I'm going to do a 2-day live. I'm going to do a 48-hour live. You guys are going to see me take dumps. You guys are going to see me sleep. You guys are going to see me shower. I'm taking it over for 40. I'm going to be holding my phone like this for 48 hours. Be like, hey, what's up? I'm going to eat lunch now because I'm a champion. Are you a champion? Be like,
You
it's gonna
should, Joey. The funniest thing about it, like I tried to change my name to like World Series champion Laura Stone when we won, and Facebook said it was too long. But
too
I was
long.
kind of getting concerned because I kept saying I can die happy when the Braves win the World Series again. So then the Braves win the World Series, and I was like, okay, well, I've always said I can just die happy when the Georgia Bulldogs win a championship. We won. Like this has been the most awesome year for me. Just the
Crazy.
dogs win and then the Braves win, and I was like, oh shit. I hope this is like a bad omen.
I sometimes joke that the second I pass, the Mets are going to win like 4 straight. The Browns are going to go to a Super Bowl. Billy Joel's going to drop a new album. It's all going to happen like 30 seconds after I'm gone. But I'm looking forward to the season. I hope we have a season. One
Oh,
thing
me
I
too.
can tell you, Laura, is that there will be a Utopian Baseball Universe Season 3. It's coming Friday, March 25th. Laura's going to be back with us on February 25th for about 20 minutes or so. We're going to do a preview of the South Division that night. And Laura, like I said, this was probably one of the most fun episodes we've had, and certainly the most engaging. I can't even get to all these comments because there's
Hey, I'm
literally
glad. My guys did me proud.
they did
When
you
I
proud.
told
There's
them today,
100
don't go in there and
comments
try and
here.
embarrass me.
So we'll try to get to everyone's comments after the show with the likes and the replies and all that. But Laura, thanks for being on. You've been on with me now probably a half a dozen times. I appreciate it. We love you.
Well, thanks for having me.
And looking forward to having you. And my friend Andy just said Billy Joel won't drop a new album. No, he will the day I die. He'll be like, oh yeah, I've been working on this now for 10 years. And anyway, but thanks for being with us tonight, having a catch. We're going to see you in a couple weeks. And then next Tuesday, I'll be having a catch with Joey Witkowski, former professional baseball player, singer-songwriter. We're going to have a lot of fun that night. So, Laura, thanks for being here. Everyone have a good night. And we'll see you Friday for the West Division preview show.